In 2017, MoviePass made an offer that sounded impossible. For just $9.95 a month, customers could watch movies in theaters almost every single day. To movie lovers, it looked like the greatest subscription deal ever created. A simple card, one low monthly price, almost unlimited access to the movies. But behind the hype, behind the viral headlines, and behind the millions of new subscribers, there was a problem MoviePass could not escape. Every time a customer used MoviePass to watch a film, the company still had to pay the theater. Customers were paying less than $10 a month, but MoviePass was often paying nearly that much for just one ticket. The business model had one fatal assumption, that people would subscribe, but not actually use the service too much. But movie fans did exactly what MoviePass promised they could do. They went to the movies. And the more they watched, the faster MoviePass burned. At first, the idea sounded genius. MoviePass wanted to become the Netflix of movie theaters. Instead of paying for every single movie ticket, customers would pay one monthly fee. Then they could go to the theater again and again. The customer paid MoviePass, MoviePass paid the theater. And for users, the experience felt almost magical. When the price dropped to $9.95 a month, the internet noticed immediately. A movie ticket in many cities could cost more than the entire monthly subscription. That single price point turned MoviePass from a niche service into a viral phenomenon. People did not just sign up, they rushed in. But inside the company, growth was not the same thing as success. Every new subscriber looked good on paper, but every active subscriber could also become a financial liability. The math was brutal. A customer could pay $9.95 for the month, then use MoviePass to see 2, 3, or even more movies. The more popular MoviePass became, the more dangerous the business became. Because this was not a company losing money by accident. It was a company built on a model that could collapse under its own success. To understand why MoviePass collapsed, you only need to understand one simple equation. A customer paid MoviePass less than $10 a month. But when that customer went to the theater, MoviePass still had to pay for the ticket. That meant one active customer could wipe out the entire monthly fee with a single movie. And after the second movie, that customer was no longer profitable. They were a loss. The company was betting on a familiar subscription trick. People sign up, forget about the service, and do not use it enough to cost much money. It is the same logic used by gyms. If every member showed up every day, the model would break. MoviePass needed subscribers who loved the idea of unlimited movies, but did not actually watch too many. But MoviePass attracted exactly the wrong kind of customer for that model. It attracted movie lovers. People who did not forget to use the service, people who understood the deal, people who wanted to get their money's worth. So every headline about explosive growth had a darker meaning. More users meant more attention. More attention meant more signups. But more signups also meant more tickets MoviePass had to pay for. The company was not selling a profitable product. It was selling a discount so aggressive that success made the losses bigger. And once millions of people understood the deal, MoviePass was no longer controlling the business. As losses grew, MoviePass faced a problem it could no longer hide. The company needed people to use the service less. But that was the exact opposite of what customers had signed up for. MoviePass had promised freedom. Now, it had to start building walls. Popular movies became harder to access. Certain showtimes disappeared. The app became unpredictable. And for many users, the service started to feel less like a revolution and more like a trap. The same customers who had once promoted MoviePass online began turning against it. The viral hype became viral frustration. And in a subscription business, trust is everything. Customers can forgive a bad feature. They can forgive a price change, but they do not forgive feeling misled. MoviePass was no longer just fighting ticket costs. It was fighting its own promise. The unlimited dream had become a limited, confusing, frustrating product. Every restriction helped slow the bleeding. But every restriction also damaged the reason people had joined in the first place. And once MoviePass started breaking its own value proposition, the collapse was no longer a question of if. The company had captured attention. It had attracted millions of subscribers. It had become one of the most talked about startups in America. But attention was not enough. MoviePass had confused growth with strength. But growth without a working business model does not create stability. It only makes the collapse louder. For a while, the company looked unstoppable from the outside. But inside, the economics were falling apart. Every new customer brought more pressure. Every popular movie created more losses. Eventually, the product that once felt too good to be true started proving exactly that. The service became unreliable, the promise became weaker, and the brand lost the trust that made it powerful. MoviePass did not collapse because people hated the idea. It collapsed because people loved the idea too much. They used it exactly the way it was advertised, and that was the tragedy of MoviePass. The more value it gave customers, the more value it destroyed for itself. The deal was brilliant for users. MoviePass is remembered as one of the most unbelievable deals in subscription history. But the real story is not just about cheap movie tickets. It is a story about what happens when a company mistakes growth for success, hype for validation, and customer demand for a working business model. MoviePass proved that a product can be loved by millions and still be financially broken. Because popularity does not fix bad economics. The company gave customers exactly what they wanted, but it never found a way to survive the cost of giving it to them. In the end, MoviePass did not die because nobody wanted it. It died because everybody did. This is Ledgergrave, where business stories are buried and investigated.